Let's go to Chicago. Blue Line Futures, Oliver Slope. All right, the reports are coming out. Are you watching?
I am watching along with everyone else, and it's really it's more than the report today, as you had mentioned. Into the month, into the quarter, you're starting to see a lot of money movement, not just in the grain space, but also the outside markets, and that's going to continue to play a factor as well. But for the grain traders and analysts, all eyes on that prospective plantings report and quarterly stocks number. My expectations somewhat limited. It'll be interesting to see what the acres come out as. That's going to be the headline number I'm most closely watching. For corn, I believe the average analyst estimate is 94.4. I really wouldn't be terribly surprised to see that come in a little bit higher and maybe a little bit lower on the beans, where the average analyst estimate is 83.8. So if that were to play out, I think the opportunity to the upside is soybeans. But as you'd mentioned, a lot of moving balls here in today's trade. It'll keep things interesting for sure as we round out the month and quarter. But I think the important thing is that we're heading into a really exciting time of year. This report, yeah, it means a lot today. But once we get past this and into a new month, we're going to be talking about weather and planting conditions and crop progress on a weekly basis. And that's really kind of the Super Bowl for grain traders.
All right. But before we get there, we have something else we're trading that has been up 19.4% this year, and over the past 3 years has gained 64%. What is it? Well, here's the market to show us as it moves in higher territory today. It's the gold market. Yep. 31.26, up 39.5. New highs here. Is there still more room to move higher?
I think so. Over the long term, the gold contract made new all-time highs again. I wouldn't be surprised to kind of chalk some of this rally in today's trade up to window dressing, which is basically money managers who may not have gold in the portfolio buying gold at the end of the quarter to say, hey, look, we're long the gold market, and that's been performing well with the turbulence in the outside markets. But market is a little bit overbought here in the near term with the RSI, or the relative strength index, in overbought territory. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the market maybe pull back and catch its breath here. But longer term, I'm still a gold bull at heart.
All right. Oliver, hang on. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment. We'll talk livestock futures. Market day report continues in a moment. The April contract. Let's break it down. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures. When you look at the meats, the proteins, what are you watching?
Well, as with the grain segment, just a lot of money flow into the month, into the quarter. I think we may be seeing some long liquidation here to start the week, especially with the outside markets in a risk-off mode and revisiting those recent lows. And if the stock markets broadly continue to trend lower, I think that maybe potentially raises a caution flag for potential consumer demand going forward. Now, demand has been resilient over the last year plus, so that trend is still, solid and intact. But I think if stocks do, drift lower, that would maybe potentially spur some long liquidation from the funds who've really enjoyed a really good trade, as they've been net long for quite some time. Technically speaking, 201.5 to 202 for that June contract is going to be what we would refer to as an inflection point. Those were the old highs from January. A break and close below there, I think, would potentially spur some more long liquidation and profit taking from the funds, despite what may be a good fundamental backdrop.
There are a lot of headlines right now and a lot of concern with the word tariff, but something else that President Trump brought to us was drill, baby, drill, right? Well, let's go to the crude oil market as we look at our energy prices here this morning, and we are higher. We've been up to 71.08 on the May contract. It's $1.55 higher now at last check. Thoughts on the energies?
The crude oil market continues to look pretty strong. I didn't think that we'd start this week as strong as we have, but the path of least resistance has been to the upside, up and to the right. Higher lows and higher highs have been marked for the better part of the last couple of weeks. And if this strength continues, I think 73 could be a realistic next upside target. Breaking out meaningfully without any significant unrest in the Middle East, I think might be a little bit difficult. But again, this market still looks pretty friendly in the short-term chart.
Okay, we've got a lot to digest, so thanks for popping in. I know we'll talk to you after the reports. Oliver Slope is with Blue Line Futures.